Hello, everyone. Ted Clayton here. This is going to be another video in the installment series Proof That Most Women Hate Short Men. Now, in essence, what had happened here was that this girl had cut me off in line, and then it turned into an episode, a rather short lived episode, because, of course, it goes without saying that one should not engage in these situations for too long. I would say respond if you feel the need to, respond accordingly, and then remove yourself from the situation. At best, it's good to ignore them totally, but if you want to, respond again accordingly and remove yourself. Disengage, remove yourself. After sharing this, some people may come to the conclusion that this is more leaning towards, this example is leaning more towards misandry than anything. I would say that because I'm not tall, this individual felt more comfortable to do what they had done. All right. This was earlier today, not too long ago, a couple hours ago. I wanted to get some coffee. Now, I wanted a specific cup of coffee or a type of coffee just because, I'm pretty in tune with my body, what I need, what I would want, and at a specific moment. Sometimes it's just, I need coffee, but sometimes other times it may be, I'm in a certain mood, I want something really strong or really light or something in between. So I was more in the in-between mood. And I really needed coffee because I did need a boost to take advantage, get things done today. Now, I went across from this building that I'm at, there's a Starbucks, but I didn't want Starbucks coffee. Not that I don't like it. I love a Pike Place roast with whole milk and 2 Splendors. Love it. And all I needed was a medium cup. And I just had that today, and that was it. That's good enough for me. But I didn't want Starbucks. I needed that caffeine, but I needed also a certain flavor. There was a Pret that was not too far away from here, but that Pret was closed. The next best thing was Dunkin' Donuts. But this one was about 4 blocks away. Now, this Dunkin' Donuts was an express Dunkin' Donuts. And I don't mean one of those small ones where just is room for a couple tables, or even the newly built ones after the post-pandemic that are to go. This is one of the really tiny ones. Anybody who's from New York knows the one that I'm talking about. It's in Herald Square, 34th Street, Broadway around 36th Street. And there's another one. Again, if you're from New York, you know what I'm talking about, or familiar with New York. There's the one that's in Wall Street, around Fulton, the real tiny one. So this is just like that. Now, I'm sharing all this information so I can give some context, giving a backdrop, because it's important to share all these things. So that way people can see how everything played out. Again, to give a more elaborate illustration, really draw things up, but also to give context. Now, this Dunkin' Donuts is right on the corner. And they have a stanchion for people to use to form a line. When I got there, there were 2 people, this black woman and their daughter. I'm going to assume it's her daughter. They were already ordering something, and behind them was a couple. It was a Hispanic gentleman, and it looked like an Asian girl. I wasn't quite sure, but I think it was an Asian girl. I didn't really get that much of a good look, but I think it was an Asian girl. Now, the couple that was next in line, they weren't behind the stanchion. They were outside of it. So when I saw this, I thought to myself, okay, this might be an issue, because if more people come, then it's going to get kind of confusing. And, some people do this where they just can't maintain order. I'm not judging anyone in specific, but sometimes there's a thing where you're just right there and you're next in line, or you could just make a beeline and it's not really a big deal. But if maybe, let's say, you walked up to the line, but then you see that the people in front of you are taking some time, it might be a better idea to get behind that stanchion. That way, you can start to form a line properly. Now, me, you can say that, why didn't you get behind it? Good point. I just told myself, well, the people in front, the two people in front that were already getting their stuff, they looked like they were pretty much done. Now, there was only one associate. Let me just point that out. There was only one associate working at the time, and this is not implying anything. So it looked like they were kind of done getting what they were getting. And then there was the couple. Now, I was thinking to myself, they might not take long, so I will just stay out here just to kind of follow along with everyone and, just keep things going smoothly. And then as a couple minutes, a minute or two passed, I thought to myself, maybe that might not have been such a good idea because this couple looks like the type of couple that they're going to wait till they get to the window to look at what they want. But that's neither here nor there. I already, placed myself where I was. So the couple went up to order what they were ordering. From across the street, I see this girl, this Hispanic girl, probably, if not my age, probably a little younger, with her daughter, holding her daughter, very young toddler. And I see her walking, and I could tell, from her aura, I could tell she was coming to the Dunkin' Donuts, and something told me that she did not care, that she not even not care that I was next in line, that she was deliberately going to disrespect me. I don't know why, but something just told me that. That's just what my senses told me, and I was correct. So she comes from across the street, and she makes a beeline straight to the window. Now, I'm standing. I'm next in line. My hand is right on the stanchion, on the post that connects the stanchions. And I'm there just profiling, because it's taking kind of long, even with these two parties, it's taking kind of long, but I'm just profiling to just, play it cool. But I'm right there. I'm only a stone's throw away from the window. I look at the girl politely, and then I lean in and politely tell her, excuse me, I'm actually next in line. I didn't really think I needed to tell her that, but of course, just to make it known and to know that, let them know that, you've been disrespected. I say, excuse me, I'm next in line. The response was as if I had disrespected them. It was, okay, as if I'm, exaggerating, or if I'm trying to, I was being mean to them or impolite in any way. She backs off and she says, okay, it's not a big deal. And I say, well, please don't get excited. I was next in line. I'm just letting you know. And she says, well, this is a Dunkin' Donuts. Don't make a big deal over Dunkin' Donuts. Why are you making a big deal over Dunkin' Donuts? Now, this is an argument. This is a tactic some people use to try to trivialize the situation. So they try to use an actual object or the focus of what's happening, but not the actual situation, or the focus like an actual item, or how can I say this? We're all coming to get this one thing, but that doesn't have any importance because it's just a thing. At least for the sake of this argument, it's just a thing, but what's happening around it, that's what's the issue. So I say, no, it's not that. It's the places. It doesn't have anything to do with where we're at. It's that you were being inconsiderate. And then she responds saying, well, you were way over there. Notice the words they're using, but also the exaggeration that I'm using, the intonation that I'm using, cadence that I'm using is exactly how she responded. She says, well, you were way over there. And again, literally, we're in an express. If you know the place, you'll probably find this hilarious. But we're in this express location, so it's, we're all pretty much in proximity to each other. We're all close to each other. But I'm only a yard away from her. She's really just right in front of me, and she's saying way over there. I'm holding on to the stanchion. What I did was I held the strap, which is all labeled Dunkin' Donuts. I grab it and I go, no, I'm not. I'm right here. So then I say, well, she says, well, why are you making such a big deal out of this? It's too early for this. And I say, well, you could have asked. I'm right here. Her response was, well, I'm not going to ask. And then she starts throwing some expletives. I think I said that correctly, expletives at me. And I say, so I decided to turn up a notch, just a bit, again, responding accordingly. And I go, and I don't want to be too loud here where I'm at, but I basically say, I made a scene. I did make a scene, or at least, again, responded accordingly just to bring some attention to the situation. I say, I see what's going on here. Wow, what a great example for your daughter. And actually, just before I said daughter, she blurted something out to try to stop me from talking, to try to interrupt what I was saying, but I made sure that last word got through. And then I just left. I put my hands up again, just trying to bring awareness to the situation. Not being dramatic, bringing awareness to the situation. And I threw my hands up. I started walking away. I said, whatever, I'm not going to worry about getting in from this place. I don't even want to stick around here. It's not a big deal. And with situations like these, that's a turnoff. If I needed to, I would stay, but it's a turnoff. I just leave. But what I noticed was, what got my attention, what was interesting, was her daughter. And she kept looking at me. She started, just the way she looked at me, it sort of gave me the look of, wow, somebody's telling off or someone's putting my mother in check. Someone's challenging my mother. But you see that, but also with the kind of sadness of, this is what I go through all the time. Like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, this is what this is my mother. I'm sorry, this is my mother. Both those looks at the same time. And more pronounced was, I gave her the look, because I'm looking at her mother and she's blowing up, so her anger is directed at me, but with these kind of situations, these people, it then just explodes all over the place, so she's not really focusing on you anymore. And then I look at the little girl, and I give her this look and gesture, and I just say, kind of saying to her, like, sorry, like, I'm going to challenge your mother. I'm going to be the one to, speak up, but sorry, I know that's your mom, sorry. But yeah, some people are acknowledging what's going on. Some people know what's going on. Then I walk away. I go to cross the street, and I walk diagonally. So I hear her right as I'm in the middle of the street. Again, I'm walking diagonally, and it was a stoplight, so I was safe. And once I get in the middle of the street, I hear the girl still talking, and she's just cursing, basically saying, oh, this mother effer, whatever, these effing people making such a big deal at the Dunkin' Donuts at this time, they're just trying to get attention, whatever. And I turn around right in the middle of the street, and I go, oh, okay. I say, you're still talking? And yes, my tone was like this, but enough that my voice projected to the middle of the street. We're talking now maybe 3 yards or so. I say, you're still talking? And I go, it's over. It's over. It's over. I'm walking away. It's over. It's over. And then I look, and then, but again, what was more pronounced to me was her daughter just kept looking at me. And again, I think it was a look of maybe, how can I say this? It was probably new to her that somebody challenged her mother. Like, kind of that look. Like, I would say, yes, in admiration, but also it being foreign. forgive me if I'm not articulating this the best way. I think some of you may get what I'm trying to say. Maybe most again what I'm trying to say. It was, yes, I would say a little bit of an admiration there, an appreciation there, but also just, and maybe even, I hate to say this, but maybe even kind of wanting to have that person around, kind of like, I wish you could be around kind of thing. I don't have the word for it, but I'm, again, and please excuse me for being inarticulate, but I don't have the word for it just yet, but kind of like man, I wish you was around, like, you would help me out a lot. I may be projecting that, but that, again, it was the look of that, of admiration, of appreciation, but also sadness, where, yeah, this is what I deal with. This is my reality. And it just, it breaks my heart. I know this is all too common, but it breaks my heart, where just we still have people that are just low level like this, and children are just prisoners to these kind of people. And again, that's just one incident. Just me. That's one incident. I mean, the little girl may have been relieved to just see that one time. But imagine, I can only imagine that this woman probably blows up all over the place, gives her daughter a hard time, rushing her here and to and fro, what have you, having tantrums and roller coasters, emotional roller coasters all the time. So, that was that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that example. Again, like I said, it's probably something more leaning towards misandry. She may be someone that treats just men like that in general, but she probably felt more comfortable. Again, I'm standing right there. It's an express Dunkin' Donuts, excuse me. So everyone's just right there, just right next to each other, because it's a small space. And my hand is right there on the stanchion. I flapped that strap, that Dunkin' Donuts strap, like, no, like, I'm right here, claiming Dunkin' Donuts. But when I saw her just come, she just made a beeline just straight to the window. I mean, it is what it is. Again, I'm just sharing these situations because it's all about showing where people's consciousness is at and how things are progressing, but then regressing in society, and why that's the case. Yes, there's people with their issues, maybe even mental illnesses, but then there's also unconscious biases, and that's also what I'm illustrating here, where they will take advantage of these unconscious biases, or maybe even they may be more conscious of it and want to use that as an opportunity, but they found the wrong one, potentially, allegedly. But anyhow, again, I know that was a lot to share, but I just wanted to lay everything out for context so people can see how these things play out, where it's just black and white. Yeah, there's minutia where you kind of would have to have things broken down to you or really listen to each and every single part of it. But then there's also things that are so blatant. And this was something very blatant, but I had to still explain it because you weren't there. This is me experiencing this. And the couple that was there, that was right before me, they knew. I could tell by their body language, they knew that I was in the right, and they just saw me go off, or rather, bring attention to this individual, where I look at them. Whenever I get into these situations, I look at the people around me, I would say unintentionally or involuntarily asking, am I bugging? Am I crazy? And, you have the people who don't want to make eye contact or just, I'm not a part of this, I don't know what happened. I didn't see anything. So, it's one of those kind of things. But yeah, I think it was kind of a setup though, because that couple could have been behind the stanchion and it would have been more clearer. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but so just it's Normie's gonna norm, right? They're just gonna act silly sometimes, but it's nothing to take personal. But still, it does kind of lend itself to certain situations and even certain traps. Well, that's all for right now. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.